here we are. We're at the bench. We got some penguins. I'm going to put them over here on the side. You know, these guys have been around with me for a long time. Somehow they became like a thing. I even have them in multiple colors. But anyway, the regular guys are black and white because, you know, it's the holiday penguins that are multiple colors. Anyway, this is a nice Tomo that I've been working with. Came out of a piece of severely cracked and problematic stone, but the shape is weird. Try not to throw your Tomo Nagura around. And I stamped it up, and it turned out pretty nice. Anyway, so that has nothing to do with the show. Today's video. This is like, I don't know. This is a thing. The Allegro Model L razor blade stropper sharpener thing. Has nothing to do with straight razors, and I'm going to try and make this quick. Anyway, I've had this for a million years. They're kind of neat. Comes in this like heavy duty cardboard box. I don't know when they were made. I'm going to suspect sometime around like when, you know, the economy wasn't so good and had that stock market crash and all of that stuff. But I don't know. I just never researched it. I never looked into it. Anyway, so here you go. You have this gizmo, right? So yes, this is for intended to be used for sharpening double-edged razor blades. All right. So you're probably saying, well, you know, a double-edged blade is going to cost like a nickel, right? This is going to cost a nickel, maybe less, depending on what kind of volume you buy, what brand, blah, 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 blah. So why would you want to, you know, sharpen it? Why wouldn't you just throw it away? Why invest the time? Why buy the thing? Why? Well, you know, during the Depression, people didn't have money. People didn't have supplies. Things were not as available as they are right now. And I'm guessing like with this Corona thing that's going on, all the Corona idiots buying all the toilet paper, you might just have a clue about what people went through back then. But anyway, so a different time, different people, different type of society, so on and so forth. So there was a need, or at least a perceived need, for maintaining double-edged blades so you could get like extra shaves out of them. And you've seen the razor blade hones with the curved surface and the glass and the this and the that. I just had one recently, a lithied one, but stupidly I dropped it and broke it because I like to mess with stuff. And so I got one of these to mess with it. And I'm putting it in my Etsy shop, actually, because I'm done messing with it. And I think maybe someone else would like to mess with it. But anyway, so basically you can see there's a blade in there, right? Right there. All right. And basically this is the action, right? And I put the guard up. So that's it. Forward, back, forward, back. So you have this little flip-flop gizmo here. So let me show you what goes on. All right. So that's the assembly that holds the blade. This piece here is notched, and this bar has a place for it to sit in that notch. All right. So that just like basically drops in. To load the gizmo, you have this wheel. This wheel, I need a pointer or a poker or something. I actually have one out. So the wheel has a notch in it right here. So if you turn the notch to where it meets this tab, that tab will pop up and that arm will swing away. It's an old Gillette Plate. So all you do is, when you get this thing, you just drop the blade in there like that. And you close this over it and you sandwich it down. And you just give this a little bit of a turn. And that holds it in place. Now you might want to look at it and sort of see if you have everything lined up, because it really should be square. So it's only held in place by tension. So you could like noodle with it a little bit. All right. But it's not rocket science. This isn't designed by NASA. This isn't built to within 1/10,000th, tolerances. It's kind of sloppy. So what you do is you just drop that in, and it goes. So when you come on the back, it's working the edge that you can't see. And when you're going forward, it's dragging the edge over the strap. Now, when I got this, it was a mess. So I had to realign stuff, move things around. And this piece is actually, it's more than a strap. It has 3 sides, so you can turn it. If you look at it from the other side, you can see you can turn it this way easier. So basically, when I got it, all these hones, okay, I'll get to that in a sec, were pretty crappy. The surface was rough, it was uneven. So down here, see this? That's a clip. It's a spring clip. So if I push down on that, let's see if I can show you. If I push down on it, and it's easier for me to do this way. All right, this slides out. So basically, right here you have an L-shaped notch. And this has pins on either end. So if I put, I'm trying to show this as best I can. Sorry, it's like not great. Put it in, move it over, slide it up, let it go, it's back in place. And you can turn this around. So you have 2 pastes, basically, is what this is, these hones. They're not really hones. Okay? What they are is 2 chunks of like a crayon. It's a little harder than some of the compound crayons you buy, but not too much harder. It's very similar. And then they have this thing that goes through the middle that provides the mounting points. And then you have this surface where there's a piece of leather. Now, I put a piece of kangaroo on here because the old piece was like falling apart. It was like junk, and I don't know if it ever worked well, to be honest. You have to be the kind of person that enjoys working with stuff that's like fidgety. Honestly, usually I'm not. But this thing was an exception because it kind of reminds me of a Rube Goldberg device. So the idea basically is as you go back and forth over this sharpening compound, you're edging the steel a little bit. Right? And then you could use the black, which I'm not really sure, but it seems to be finer to me. And then you come to the leather. The big question, does it work? I'll tell you the truth. I've had mixed results. It's really hard for me to get into double-edged blades at this point because I pretty much only use straights and I use a DE like once in a bazillion years. But in my slight modicum of testing, I did perceive intermittent, actually more than intermittent. I got good results, but it wasn't consistent. So every 3rd or 4th attempt, I didn't get the result I was looking for. And what I think that had to do with was blades in different states of repair, different types of blades, because I have sampler packs. I just pull out a blade I don't get crazy about. I have to shave with this or that blade. And so I think if you have a lot of variables heading in, then you're going to have a lot of variables coming out. But I did get numerous times I was able to perceive a better shaving experience after using the Allegro. While technically it might be anecdotal, I'm pretty reserved with the way I approach things, and I'm pretty sure that this definitely does have some possibilities. You may have to, if you have one of these, you may have to noodle around with it. It may not work as perceived or imagined all the time. The blade may not touch the leather or the stone the way you want it to. You may have to change stuff around. So there's some finagling. Remember, old blades are not made, the older blades than this too, were not made the same. They had different bevel angles and so on and so forth. So there might be some interplay there. But anyway, so here you have it. The Allegro sharpener, made in Switzerland. Probably very popular for a short period of time in certain parts of the world. You see them on eBay now and again, but a lot of them are ruined or wrecked or missing parts. No one ever seems to know which ones are for which. This one, the Model L, will work with typical blades that we use today, but there are other models. There's like an E, there's an F, there's a K. I don't know which ones are which. One of them will work with Rolls blades, though. Forget what model that is. And I would buy one if I saw one, but I don't ever look for them, so I guess that'll never happen. Anyway, so this is the second video in the Corona Chronicles. Hopefully this mini-series can be halted and go back to our regular programming. It's all the same. I'm just saying Corona Chronicles to sort of, bookmark like what's going on. And right now we're dealing with the COVID-19 crisis. So I'm doing a couple of videos, keep myself entertained, keep you entertained, and go over some unusual stuff along the way. Anyway, take care. Talk to you soon. And remember, all of this stuff, it's all about having fun. So get out there. I keep knocking these guys over, man. So get out there, have some great shaves, have some fun. Talk to you soon.